Good morning, friends. You are most welcome to Think Eyes channel. Today we are going to discuss practicing anthropology by MAAN IGNOU, and our topic is participation in the civil societies and the state. Let us begin the topic. Challenges of collaborating with anthropologists. The advantage of being an anthropologist has its own limitations and challenges. These challenges and limitations must to be overcome for an effective participation in the professional life. Anthropology is practiced in two forms while disseminating disciplinary knowledge in the form of theories and concepts in the universities, and the other form is more towards utilization of anthropological knowledge for the public good while working for the state, civil society, and the corporate houses. There is an inherent resistance to bridge these two, especially in India, of in one sense that with the growing power of university bureaucracies and rising teaching loads, disciplinary careers are increasingly tied in with institutional fortunes. Mills 2003. The current anthropology and anthropologist needs to focus on contemporary issues by creating new concepts and application of established knowledge for the well-being of society. In a larger professional environment, it is important to revisit the problems of collaboration between social scientists and the practicing professionals or professions as elaborated by Cottrell. Problems in the areas of collaboration can be classified as those occasioned by subcultural differences in values, goals, ideologies, language, and technologies characterizing different professions and disciplines, those deriving from the nature of settings in which the social scientist is placed and his position and status in that setting, those deriving from the nature of the setting in which the social scientist is placed and his position and status in that setting. Third, those of role ambiguity and incongruence in mutual expectation. In dealing with these problems of interprofessional relations, the kinds of activities effective in surmounting barriers to efficient collaboration in practice, Cottrell 1963 suggests to developing optimal initial orientation and level of expectation. By optimal initial orientation, it is mean to evolve perspective of the discipline, maximizing mutual assimilation of professional subcultural values, ideologies, technologies, and language, securing an appropriate structural position in the institutional setting for the social scientist, clarification of the roles of the parties to the undertakings, and increasing the interpersonal skills of the participants. In professional anthropology, the discipline needs to focus on evolving broader perspectives of the students in the initial orientation. As an anthropologist, one needs to nurture their student with maximization and openness to appreciate interdisciplinary perspective. It allows an individual opportunity to identify and understand the areas of one's intervention based on the existing demand within the institution. Eventually, it facilitates in aligning institutional goals with the personal interest and skills. This leads to securing appropriate position in the institutional setting. Often conflict between personal and organizational goal and roles are critical factors of failure in the collaborative work in the profession. Participation opens up a space where various sectors take up local concern and create alternatives. The outcomes of participation depend on institutional design, the degree of organization of civil society, and the policies of state. It is demonstrated that participation leads to accountability, transparency, resulting in increase in efficiency and effectiveness of the program. It means that the power and influence in the organization requires preparedness with sensitivities of the other stakeholders and ability to communicate the purpose of the end product around people. Anthropology as a discipline contributes significantly to how we define ourselves. Appropriately recommended in the article The Future of Anthropology about what are some things we anthropologists should do or could do. James Peacock proposes that first participate then lead, had projects that reach beyond anthropology and beyond the academy. Second, formulate positive proposals. Do not be content to be mere social critics. Third, reach out, think, and communicate beyond the discipline and the academy. 1997. In essence, the success lays in making development more participatory and making our skills and attitude more participatory. Paradigm of participation. In the contemporary world, neither market nor state works in a cultural vacuum. In all the above stages of growth, convergence of human resources is the most critical factor of success. This allows creation of efficient institutions or organizations and improves the effectiveness of available use of technologies. In this regard, the anthropological tools and techniques of understanding people's knowledge acts as an cutting edge in the profession. How best you know your client is the concern of the day. Because the success of any intervention, whether in the market or by the state, lies on the degree of proximity or to overlap between the people's need and choices made by the organization or the state. Here there is a diagram, paradigm of engagement adopted from Scott Campbell, 1996 Journal of American Planning Association. First, concern for social justice. There will be conflict over equitable growth and conflict over development. In the case of conflict over equitable growth, concerns for economies are conflict over resources and conflict of equitable growth. And in case of concerns for environment, conflict over development and conflict over resources, both balanced towards concerns for justice or social justice. Even the most spatially excluded communities are directly influenced by three components of paradigm: justice, environment, and economy. A particular society may have traditional technologies to extract resources and institutions to facilitate access and control of resources. In the contemporary world, with the globalization of market, there are increased there are increased interdependent societies. In this regard, skills of anthropologists to understand and instill participation are extremely advantageous. Participation as a concept gained impetus during 1970s in response to the realization by the development experts that development programs failed due to lack of participation. Some of the critical concern can be summarized as follows: that a program that meets the felt needs of the beneficiaries will mobilize more of their cooperation than those that are thought to be imposed from outside. That a program that meets the felt needs of the beneficiaries will mobilize more of their cooperation than those that are thought to be imposed from outside. Top down approach and armchair analysis are believed to perpetuate the power of planners to impose standards, where armchair excellence becomes a pretext for designing and assessing programs or projects. And lastly, irrespective of the programs or projects expressing felt needs, the efficiency of the project is enhanced if the power is shared with the users. Anthropologists have the ability to influence the quality of stakeholders' participation. The participation of stakeholders results in the process of decentralized approach for access and control of resources. The quality of stakeholders' participation influence policy formulation, locally drive investment choices, alternative program implementation design, and effective management decision, and establish the necessary sense of ownership. Establish the necessary sense of ownership. In turn, participation as a process of exchange of knowledge between the stakeholders also builds the capacity of participating stakeholders. Therefore, participation as a strategy has become more common after liberalization and globalization in the mid 90s, clubbing with judicial activism. Thank you very much.